When we started studying tissues, I told you that in the human body we have 4 main types of tissues. Do you remember their names? One of them is the epithelial tissue. Another one is the muscular tissue. Another is the nervous tissue. And the fourth one is the one that connects them all together. And conveniently, the fourth one is named connective tissue because it connects them all together. So, as you can expect, the connective tissue will be present all over the body. It's present in the skin, it's present in the heart, it's present in the central nervous system. It is the connective tissue. It connects all tissues together. And with that, it structurally supports, it functionally supports all the other tissues. And that's the tissue we will be studying now. As you can see, the general function of the connective tissue is to support, and by support, I mean it structurally supports, and also it functionally supports all other tissues and connect them together. That's why it is named connective tissue. Now, what characterizes the connective tissue is the presence of cells. And these cells are not as tightly packed together as the epithelial tissue. These cells actually have space between them. Now, as you can expect, if you have space between cells, you need to have something in that space, right? And what is in between the cells is a substance. That is what we call a matrix. And since this substance is outside of the cells, we call it extracellular matrix. Another big difference that we have when we compare the connective tissue with the epithelial tissue that we already studied is the fact that the epithelial tissue was avascular, right? There were no blood vessels. But when you look at the connective tissue, you have lots of blood vessels. And that's why we say that the connective tissue is highly vascularized. We have exceptions. But overall, the connective tissue is highly vascularized. And because it is highly vascularized, it has lots of blood vessels. You can expect that these blood vessels will be carrying the nutrients necessary for the cells that are making up the avascular epithelial tissue to survive. Now, if you have these blood vessels present in the connective tissue, delivering nutrients to the cells that are making up the epithelial tissue and removing metabolic wastes from these cells of the epithelial tissue, you can remember that the connective tissue is functionally supporting the cells of the epithelial tissue. It has the function of delivering nutrients and removing waste. So that is an easy way for you to remember that the connective tissue functionally supports other tissues.